Welcome to the Wandering Story Show, a place where your mind will be tested, where the sounds are vivid, and in the darkness, the shadows whisper. Every week, your ears will be filled with narrated short stories. What kind of stories, you ask? Well, they could be spooky, filled with fantasy, science fiction, suspense, or just plain weird and wrong. You be the judge. If you like having your imagination taken for a wild and strange ride, you're in the right place. My name is Elaine, and I'll be your guide for these wandering stories. Your opinion matters, so after listening, let us know your thoughts by giving us a review or DM us on Instagram at Wandering Stories Show. Follow us there also, so you don't miss an episode. And now, episode 3 begins on a Saturday afternoon. We are a fly on the pink wallpaper of a teenage bedroom where 2 teen girls are hanging out. But only one of them is really having a good time. Cross your eyes to see the hidden image. Becky sat on the floor, the book laying flat across her lap. It was one of those magic eye stereogram books where you stare at a weird pattern, cross-eyed, until you see a 3-dimensional hidden image. She'd picked it up at the library because Becky apparently thought it was a cool thing to do. "I don't see it," she whined. "Let me try." I snatched it off her lap. The first page depicted a pattern of wildflowers in a field. I crossed my eyes. The image split into 2 translucent overlapping pieces. Then they snapped together, forming the 3D image of a frog. "It's a frog," I said, tossing the book back to her. She winced. Then she took off her glasses, brought the page up to her face. Her brown eyes went crooked, her eyebrows furrowed. "I don't see it." "Let's do the next one." That page was just as boring as the first, a pattern of hearts and polka dots. When I screwed up my eyes, I could see a 3D cat playing with a ball of yarn. I can't believe I'm spending my Saturday doing this. With Becky. She'd asked to come over in front of my mom, who was of course thrilled.
"Becky's one of the smartest kids in class. She's a good influence."
Good influence. I picked at my nails, staring at my signed Ariana Grande poster, my pink wallpaper, my trophy from horseback riding. I bet Becky just has stupid books in her room.
"Oh, I see it! I see the cat!"
She squealed. We went on like this for nearly an hour. Finally, we got to the second to last page. Even I was having trouble with this one. Every time I crossed my eyes, the yellow floral pattern just snapped back in focus. "I can't see it," I finally admitted to Becky.
"That's okay,"
she piped back. I stared down at the pattern and crossed my eyes again. For a split second, I glimpsed something 3-dimensional. That fuzzy, flickering depth in the page. Then it flattened.
"Don't focus on it,"
Becky said. "I know." I closed my eyes and I took a deep breath. Then I looked down at the page and crossed my eyes. The image grew fuzzy. Then it locked into place. My heart stopped. It wasn't some cute little dog or cat like the previous ones. It was a woman. She stood still and straight, hair falling raggedly down her shoulders. No details or clothing, not even a face. Just that endless yellow floral pattern. But I could tell she was looking straight at me.
"You see it?"
Becky asked. Yeah, it's a woman." I closed the book. "Hey, let's go watch."
"I want to do the last page. But I want to finish the book."
"Okay," I said. I slowly pulled the book back open. The last page was a pattern of blue flowers bending in the wind. Heart pounding, I crossed my eyes. It was the same woman, closer, one arm outstretched, reaching for me. I shrieked and jumped back. The image collapsed. The book fell off my lap onto the floor.
"You saw her."
I looked up. Becky was staring at me, hands neatly folded in her lap, glasses pushed up to her nose, smiling. Yes, but..."
"Then my work here is done."
She lifted herself up off the floor, still smiling, picked up the book, walked over to the door. I sat in my room, silent. My heart thundered in my ears. It's just a book. Just a book. My heart began to slow. Just a book. I stared at the wall, my eyes falling out of focus. Just a book. The pink floral wallpaper stared back at me. The image snapped into focus. A woman. She leaned out of the wall, the pink wallpaper wrapping around her body, molding to her face. One arm stretched towards me. No, please. I closed my eyes tight. When I opened them a minute later, she was gone. Or at least I couldn't see her without my eyes crossed. That night, I told myself it was all a joke. A stupid prank that Becky planned to get back at me for the time I ditched her at the mall with Sam and Martin, for the time I laughed at her in class. But as I lie in bed, trying to fall asleep, I heard something. A rippling, crinkling sound, as if something were moving underneath the wallpaper. Thank you for listening to The Wandering Story Show. This story is called Stereographs, and it was written by Blair Daniels. Give us a follow on Instagram at Wandering Story Show, and you can DM us there as well, especially if you have a short story you'd like narrated. Another episode is around the corner. My name is Elaine, and until next time, let your imagination continue to wander.